You had a tremendous year, got a lot of great players that you graduated on to the next level, a lot of good guys coming back, but I mean, in such a strange year for everybody, what are you most impressed with, or what's your biggest takeaway from what that group accomplished last year?
Yeah, well, certainly a very successful season for us. Just really happy more than anything for our seniors that they were able to have a senior season. But our kids did an awesome job last year handling all the protocols and things that were put in place. And so a lot of credit to them, and a credit to our administrators for having things in place really throughout the summer, and by the time we got to the season, our kids really knew how to handle those things and did a nice job with it.
Now, I know sometimes when you're asking kids to do something that they're not used to doing, it can be kind of hard, but did you find that your guys bought in pretty quick with what they needed to do to play?
Absolutely, and I think we had really good leadership on that team, and they helped sell that and the importance of it. And so, yeah, like I said, our kids did an awesome job handling everything that went into playing football in 2020.
Okay. Now you got a great looking group of kids that are coming back. Let's start with Jake Appleget. Obviously he's played a lot of football for you, but what does he bring to the table, both as an offensive and defensive player for you?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with Jake is just his versatility. Obviously, he's an excellent athlete, top level athlete, a lot of experience as a player, but he's very versatile as far as where we can use him defensively. Also offensively, he's made a lot of plays for us, especially in the red zone, and so he's a really versatile guy that helps us and will help somebody at the next level as well.
I think it's just my versatility and being able to play both sides of the ball very well. And I think with my frame and size and how well I'm able to move, I think that's my best strength right now.
Where do you see him translating the best at in the next level?
Yeah, I know a number of schools have talked to him, looked at him as a defensive player, and feel like he can play either inside or outside as a linebacker. He's also gotten some looks as well on offense just because of his size and ability to go get the ball. So, that's kind of hard to say. I think as he matures, he may, end up being an inside linebacker, maybe even an inside receiver or tight end. But I think that's his strength, is his versatility and the different ways that you can use him.
I think I can play either side of the ball wherever anybody needs me to play. A lot of higher schools up, Power 5 schools are looking at me at a linebacker position, possibly outside, inside. There's also some schools out there looking at me at a tight end position, a little bit bigger, could play that tight end spot. So I think I can play either side of the ball at the next level.
Now, I know it's been hard for these guys. They haven't had coaches come to this school and or be able to come to the games last year to watch them in person or anything. Have you found, though, that maybe some attention is starting to pick up, or momentum is starting to build with some guys like Jake?
Certainly. I think he's a guy that's obviously had a lot of contact with college coaches, as well as they've been in contact with our staff. And so, wherever he ends up going, somebody's going to get a tremendous player. Like I said, great athlete, great kid, and very versatile player.
Now you got a number of guys, all across the board. I guess give me a quick rundown of some of your other returning seniors, and then we'll talk about some of the underclassmen that are starting to gain attention too.
Yeah, certainly. Up front, our offensive line, last year going into the year, we had to replace all of our starters there, but we've got some starters coming back on our offensive line, as well as our defensive line. A guy like Luke Blatchford is going to be a senior, really had an excellent year as a defensive lineman and as a tight end. Owen Anthony, Nate Fulmer, those are seniors coming back for us on our offensive line. So strong groups up front on both sides, which is always helpful.
And then some underclassmen. I know Tatum Tuioti, is already gaining some offers, some really big offers, and then Gunnar Gatula too. Is somebody that catches your attention right away with his size and athleticism. I mean, how have you seen those guys handle some of that early attention?
Well, our sophomores last year, we had 5 or 6 guys that had to step in and play at the varsity level as sophomores, and so they learned quick. And like you said, Tatum had an outstanding season. We expect a lot of big things out of him, as well as Max Butenbach, Gunnar. Those guys really stepped up and did a nice job for us as sophomores, and we just want to continue to see growth out of those guys. We always tell them, being a year older doesn't make you better. You have to continue to work at it, and at this point they've had a great mindset and great work ethic as they advance in our program.
What do you think has been maybe the overriding factor to Tatum, his early interest? Is it just his motor, or is it people project him, to a certain position, or what has caught their attention?
Yeah, well, you said it. He plays with a great motor. He's a great technician. He really understands the game of football. And you combine those things, a guy that has a high football intelligence with the motor that he plays with. Not surprised that he's gotten a lot of attention as even a young player.
Now he plays D end for you. Is he going to stay there next year, or are you thinking he can move around and play?
He's another pretty versatile guy. So we've primarily played a four-man front where he's played a defensive end, but he can also play a stand-up outside linebacker if needed. So he's pretty versatile. We obviously want to get him in a position where he can make plays for our defense.
Okay, now, and Gunnar has got great size and someone who's got some varsity starts under his belt now. What are you looking forward to seeing out of him as he progresses into his junior year?
Yeah, well, with him and as well as Owen and Nate, guys that are returning starters on our offensive line, the big thing with them is just taking on that leadership role now, having a year of experience playing at the varsity level, looking for them to not only grow as players but grow as leaders in our program as well.
Probably some great battles between Tatum and Gunnar in practice, I'm sure.
I think that helps both of them. That's who they see each other every day in practice. So I think that's helped both of them develop as players for sure.
And then a guy like Max, who's committed to play baseball, but is also a really good football player too. I mean, is it hard when you're dealing with a multi-sport guy like that to kind of stay focused, or does he do a really good job of when it's football season, he's full go football?
Yeah, Max he's a great worker. He's a great competitor, and I think that that's one thing that Southeast has done a great job of throughout the years is having multi-sport athletes and being able to work those guys into different sports and sharing athletes, and so I think that's one thing that makes Southeast special.
Okay, and then just looking ahead to next year, how do you feel about these group of guys coming back and what you guys might be able to accomplish?
Yeah, we're very excited, and obviously we got some good football players coming back. On the other hand, we also had a really good senior class, and the big thing with us will be to continue to develop depth in your program. Football is the ultimate team sport, so you got to have a lot of players that perform at a high level, and I think our players and our coaches have done a really good job through the years of being able to progress guys through our program, and so we're certainly looking for guys to make that step from one level to the next, now to the varsity level, and contribute on Friday night.
All right, Coach Kadula, thanks for your time and good luck next year.
Thanks for having me.